Greetings everyone, and welcome to Disney's Animal Kingdom. As this is the beginning of our journey through this park, there is no better place for us to start than that which greets us upon entrance. We will explore this often overlooked tropical paradise called the Oasis, taking in the beauty of the natural world that we find ourselves surrounded by. As we continue exploring the habitats and trails, keeping our eyes on the waterways and dense vegetation, spotting the animals that call this paradise home, I will give a brief overview of this area, followed by a very brief origin history of Disney's Animal Kingdom. From there, we will go into some of the original concepts for this opening area during early design phases. This will help us set the tone as we explore other areas of the park in future visits. So I invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy these beautiful animals as you start exploring one of my favorite parks and learn a few things about Disney's Animal Kingdom along the way. Immediately upon entering, we find ourselves in this oasis paradise. Here's where we will decompress from the chaos of everyday life and transition into the untamed beauty of the natural world that Disney has invited us to explore. In this oasis, we trek along shady paths through a tropical paradise that's home to exotic animals, dense foliage, peaceful waterfalls, and follow meandering streams. As most bypass this hidden in sight gem in their mad dash to ride the major attractions scattered throughout the park, one misses the opportunity to linger and enjoy what nature has to offer us. The idea here in the Oasis is that we find ourselves back at the very beginning of time before humans tampered with nature in any form. We have two paths to choose from to start our journey. Both follow near the outer edges of the Oasis. The left side takes us by a usually well-hidden Wallaby and giant Anteater. The right-hand path by habitats housing the Muntjac and Babirusa. Keep a lookout later on in this video for a younger Babirusa who is very active and entertaining. A side trail that's often missed takes us past the Rhinoceros Iguana, a front view of the Wallaby habitat, and through a waterfall cave. Both end at the beginning of the Discovery Island Bridge. Both ways will give us excellent spots to view graceful swans, entertaining ducks, and see many other types of brightly colored and very beautiful birds. What we're seeing in this video is species I've captured on film over the past 3 months. Others I've seen in the years past have included scarlet ibises, military and hyacinth macaws, yellow-bellied sliders, mandarin ducks, and a cavy who formerly inhabited an area for years to the right of the spoonbill and black swans. The origins of Disney's Animal Kingdom Park is a very fascinating story, and there's a lot more here to tell and unpack that spans the decades back to Walt Disney himself, more than I can possibly do in this one video. So we will begin shortly after the opening of Disney's MGM Studios in 1989, and after other successful projects, CEO Michael Eisner declared that the 1990s would be the Disney decade. The expansion of the company's theme parks at this time was unprecedented, and Eisner's philosophy at the end of the 80s was that Disney World must not be just a must-see in Central Florida, but it would be an only-see. He wanted Disney World and its properties as a place that visitors would not have to leave to experience all of what Florida had to offer. At this time, they had attractions to compete against anything else people would want to see. The Living Seas at Epcot to check SeaWorld, which was a much larger aquarium than any SeaWorld had to offer at the time. The prior year, Disney had just opened the MGM Studios, now the Hollywood Studios, to compete with the newly opened Universal Studios. The only thing they did not have was a live animal theme park to compete against Busch Gardens Tampa. The legendary Imagineer Joe Rohde presented the idea of the animal theme park to Disney CEO Michael Eisner and President Frank Wells. He laid out detailed plans for this park and its mission to raise environmental awareness. The answer to this first meeting was a no, that Disney doesn't do zoos. Of course, like any true legend, this did not stop him. When Rohde pitched his concept for an animal theme park the second time, he came back with the detailed plans and tried to sell them on the idea how this was a perfect fit for Disney. There was more debate with this one. Eisner still believed that live animals did not capture Disney magic. Frustrated, but not defeated, Rohde began thinking of a new way to sell his idea of an animal theme park to Eisner. Rohde's third pitch began like the previous. He started talking about the details of the lands. However, this time, as he was talking, the back door to the conference room opened, and in came a 800-pound Siberian tiger. They say that everyone in the room, including Eisner, immediately froze. The tiger sat down not too far from those attending, and with what one would imagine, much staring from both sides, the tiger left the room and Rhodey asked, "Any questions?" And with that, the green light was finally given. Rhodey would eventually become the president of the Animal Kingdom Park, and just recently retiring. I would say he's earned his spot as Imagineer legend. The park was announced in 1995 and cost around $800 million to build. Imagineers were sent around the world to study wildlife, landscapes, as well as architecture and culture to bring life to these lands of the park. The original work name of the park was Disney's Wild Animal Kingdom. Later, the name was shortened to Disney's Animal Kingdom, and in the park's dedication, it states, "Welcome to a kingdom of animals, real, ancient, and imagined. A kingdom ruled by lions, dinosaurs, and dragons. A kingdom of balance, harmony, and survival. A kingdom we enter to share in the wonder, gaze at the beauty, thrill at the drama, and learn." Making its official opening on Earth Day of April 22nd, 1998, two of these three concepts became a reality. On opening day, the reel included the Oasis, the Tree of Life Gardens, Kilimanjaro Safaris, and the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trails. Maharaja Jungle Trek would open the following year. The Ancient could be discovered throughout Dinoland USA, and the Imagined was originally cut. This ambitious project, known as Beastly Kingdom, was scrapped due to budget issues and replaced with Camp Mini Mickey, a former area hosting the Festival of Lion King show and several meet and greets. With promise that work would begin the following year, however, disappointing numbers during first-year operations, this idea was again scrapped, and many of the Imagineers working on the project became frustrated and left to work at nearby Universal, where many of these ideas were re-envisioned in the Lost Continent area of Islands of Adventure, before being replaced by the first phase of Harry Potter. The original ideas for Beastly Kingdom included a unicorn-themed walkthrough attraction and a dragon-themed roller coaster. It wasn't until 2017 that the Imagined became a reality for Disney's Animal Kingdom as the park opened Pandora World of Avatar. Now that was a very brief history of the opening of the park. How about we talk about some of the original ideas for this opening area that we've been walking through? Originally, the Oasis was planned as the Genesis Gardens. In this concept, a giant Noah's Ark would act as the entrance into the park. The Ark itself would have had a number of animal displays. The message, even in this early design, was a reminder that animals are important and that they still need to be saved. The boat itself would have been massive, allowing hundreds of people to walk through at once. It would have also acted as a barrier, hiding from guests the tropical forest and landscapes beyond it. Past this, the Genesis Garden would have been very similar to what we have now, full of great photo ops, meets with animal handlers and small animals, just a great place to stop and enjoy the scenery. This idea was scrapped as Disney felt that it had too strong of a religious connotation. Other concepts for the entrance area included traditional zoo exhibits, as well as an ancient area with a dinosaur perching on top of a rock. In this oasis, we have found our paradise, a place for us to lose ourselves to the sounds of the waterfalls, the calls of the birds, the beautiful gardens that surround us, and the rays of sunshine coming through this dense canopy. Thank you for joining me on this trek. This is Brad, and I will see you where our adventures take us next. Until next time, safe travels, everyone.